What if I told you that the difference between staying broke and becoming a millionaire isn't your salary, your background, or even your education? What if the real secret lies in 7 simple habits that self-made millionaires practice every single day? Habits so powerful they can transform anyone's financial future. Today, I'm going to reveal the exact wealth-building strategies that took ordinary people from living paycheck to paycheck to building 7-figure fortunes. And by the end of this video, you'll have the blueprint to start your own journey from rags to riches. Before we dive into these life-changing habits, I need to address the elephant in the room. When most people think about millionaires, they imagine trust fund babies or lottery winners. But here's the shocking truth that will blow your mind. Over 80% of millionaires are actually first-generation wealthy. They didn't inherit their money, they didn't get lucky, and they certainly didn't start with advantages. They were regular people who discovered and implemented specific habits that compound over time to create extraordinary wealth. I've spent years studying the patterns of self-made millionaires, analyzing their daily routines, their mindset shifts, and their strategic decisions. What I discovered isn't just fascinating, it's actionable. These aren't theoretical concepts or motivational fluff. These are practical, proven strategies that have created more millionaires than any other approach in history. Let's start with the first habit that separates the wealthy from everyone else. They pay themselves first. This isn't about budgeting or saving leftover money at the end of the month. Self-made millionaires understand that if you don't prioritize your own financial future, nobody else will. The moment they receive any income, whether it's a salary, business profit, or side hustle earnings, they immediately allocate a percentage to their wealth-building accounts before spending a single dollar on anything else. This habit seems simple, but it's revolutionary because it forces you to live below your means automatically. When you pay yourself first, you're not relying on willpower or hoping there's money left over. You're making your financial future non-negotiable. Most millionaires start with paying themselves 10 to 20% of their income, but here's the key. They increase this percentage every time their income grows. When they get a raise, bonus, or increase their business revenue, they boost their savings rate rather than inflating their lifestyle. The second habit that creates millionaires is their obsession with multiple income streams. While average people rely on a single paycheck, wealthy individuals understand that financial security comes from diversification. They systematically build multiple sources of income that work together to accelerate their wealth creation. This might include a primary job, a side business, rental properties, dividend-paying investments, or digital products. But here's what's crucial to understand. They don't try to build all these income streams simultaneously. That's a recipe for overwhelm and failure. Instead, they focus intensely on one additional stream at a time until it becomes profitable and somewhat automated. Then they move to the next one. This methodical approach prevents the scattered energy that kills most people's attempts at building wealth. The third habit is perhaps the most powerful. They invest in appreciating assets rather than depreciating expenses. This fundamental shift in thinking separates the wealthy from the broke. While most people spend their money on things that lose value over time, cars, gadgets, designer clothes, millionaires prioritize purchases that increase in value or generate income. They buy real estate, stocks, businesses, or education that enhances their earning potential. This doesn't mean they live like monks or never enjoy their money. Instead, they make conscious decisions about when and how they spend on lifestyle items. They might buy a nice car, but only after they've built enough wealth that the car payment doesn't impact their investment capacity. They understand the opportunity cost of every purchase and choose to delay gratification for larger rewards later. The fourth habit that creates millionaires is their approach to continuous learning and skill development. They treat their earning ability as their most valuable asset and invest heavily in improving it. While others spend their free time on entertainment, millionaires spend it on education. They read books, attend seminars, take courses, hire coaches, and constantly upgrade their knowledge and skills. But here's what makes their learning different. It's strategic and focused on results. They don't learn random information or pursue knowledge for its own sake. They identify specific skills that will increase their income or improve their businesses. Then they pursue that knowledge relentlessly. They might learn digital marketing to grow their business, negotiation skills to increase their salary, or financial literacy to make better investment decisions. The fifth habit is their mastery of delayed gratification. Millionaires understand that wealth is built by sacrificing immediate pleasures for long-term gains. This goes beyond just saving money. It's about making choices that compound over time. They might work longer hours building their business instead of watching television. They might invest their bonus instead of taking an expensive vacation. They might live in a modest home for years while building their investment portfolio. This habit requires mental discipline, but it becomes easier with practice. Millionaires develop systems and environments that support delayed gratification. They automate their investments so they're not tempted to spend the money. They surround themselves with people who share similar values and goals. They constantly remind themselves of their long-term vision to stay motivated through short-term sacrifices. The sixth habit is their strategic approach to debt and leverage. While most people use debt to buy things they can't afford, millionaires use debt strategically to acquire assets that generate income. They understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is borrowed money used to purchase depreciating assets or consumption. Good debt is borrowed money used to acquire appreciating assets or income-producing investments. They might use a mortgage to buy rental properties, business loans to expand their companies, or even credit strategically to take advantage of investment opportunities. But they're extremely careful about their debt-to-income ratios and always ensure they can comfortably service their debt payments. They never borrow money they can't afford to repay, and they always have multiple exit strategies for their leverage investments. The seventh and final habit is their long-term thinking and patience. Millionaires understand that wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. They make decisions based on where they want to be in 10, 20, or even 30 years, rather than focusing on immediate results. This long-term perspective allows them to ride out market volatility, reinvest profits instead of spending them, and compound their wealth over time. This patience extends to their career choices, investment strategies, and business decisions. They're willing to work for years building a business that might not be profitable initially because they understand the long-term potential. They hold investments through market downturns because they know historical trends favor patient investors. They make sacrifices for years because they're focused on the eventual payoff. Now, let's talk about the mindset shifts that support these habits. The first shift is viewing money as a tool rather than a goal. Millionaires don't pursue wealth for its own sake. They understand that money is a means to achieve freedom, security, and the ability to make a positive impact. This perspective helps them make better financial decisions because they're focused on outcomes rather than just accumulating numbers in their bank account. The second mindset shift is taking complete responsibility for their financial situation. They don't blame the economy, their boss, their background, or their circumstances for their financial position. They understand that while they can't control everything that happens to them, they can control how they respond. This ownership mentality empowers them to find solutions and take action rather than making excuses. The third shift is their relationship with risk. While most people avoid risk, millionaires understand that the biggest risk is not taking any risks. They don't make reckless decisions, but they're willing to take calculated risks that have the potential for significant rewards. They understand that building wealth requires stepping outside their comfort zone and that the potential regret of not trying often outweighs the potential regret of failing. Here's something critical I want you to understand. These habits don't require you to have a high income to get started. Some of the most successful millionaires I've studied started with modest salaries, but implemented these principles consistently over time. The key is to start where you are with what you have and gradually build momentum. If you're earning minimum wage, you can still pay yourself first, even if it's just 5%. You can still invest in your education, even if it's through free online resources. You can still build multiple income streams, even if you start with small side hustles. The amount isn't as important as establishing the habit and mindset. Let me share a powerful example. I know someone who started as a janitor, making $8 an hour. Instead of accepting his situation, he implemented these exact habits. He paid himself first, even though it was only $20 a week. He invested in learning new skills during his lunch breaks. He started a small cleaning business on weekends. He lived below his means and invested every extra dollar in index funds. 20 years later, he's worth over $2 million and owns a successful cleaning company with 50 employees. His transformation didn't happen overnight, but it happened consistently through the power of these habits compounded over time. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect moment to start. They think they need to pay off all their debt first, or get a better job, or wait until they have more money. But here's the truth. The perfect moment will never come. The best time to start building wealth was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Start with one habit and master it before moving to the next. If you try to implement all 7 habits at once, you'll likely fail because you'll be overwhelmed. Pick the habit that resonates most with you or feels most achievable given your current situation. Focus on that one habit for 30 days until it becomes automatic. Then add the next one. Remember, becoming a millionaire isn't about getting rich quick. It's about getting rich for sure. These habits might seem ordinary, but when practiced consistently over time, they create extraordinary results. The compound effect of small, consistent actions is more powerful than any get-rich-quick scheme or lucky break. Your journey from rags to riches starts with a single decision to think and act differently about money. These 7 habits are your roadmap, but you have to be willing to walk the path. The choice is yours. You can continue doing what you've always done and get the same results, or you can start implementing these millionaire habits today and begin your transformation. If this video has inspired you to start your wealth-building journey, I want you to take action right now. Choose one habit from today's video and commit to practicing it for the next 30 days. Then let me know in the comments which habit you chose and why. Your commitment to action is the first step toward joining the ranks of self-made millionaires.